Hello and good morning. It is Friday, the 22nd of April 2022. My name is Steve Pugh, and if we don't know each other, I'm a management consultant based out of the northeast of England. But actually, I do a live stream every Friday morning, as well as some kind of podcasts and some stuff that I kind of do throughout the week. I have a business course called the Roadmap MBA, which is now has over 1,000 users in 28 different countries. And what we aim to do is teach the real world skills to help you progress in your career, launch or grow your business, and really kind of do it in a way which is accessible, that there are no hopeful barriers on cost or past academic requirements or complexity or time, all those kind of things. And one of the things that we really kind of look at is that we acknowledge that a lot of people don't like to learn just through reading kind of textbooks and hundreds of words and kind of different stuff. So what we do is that we break down all the content into the written book, which we're really kind of proud of. We do 4 live classroom sessions a week, which you're more than welcome to join. We hold them via Zoom, and all of the kind of links to join are, on our socials and the front page of the website, which is roadmapmba.com. And likewise, we pre-record and we talk about every concept in the book to really help you go from understanding what it is that you want to do, your aims and ambitions, your goals, all the way through to personal branding. What is it? How do you control it? Through to 3 modules on strategy. What we do modules on social influence. We do stuff on personal branding in terms of what people want in terms of your skill set. We do 3 modules on sales. There's leadership and development. There's finance. And basically what we do is teach you all of the skills required to help grow a business or to add to your skill set for your kind of career. I sent out 4 packs yesterday, so if anyone kind of manages to tune in, welcome. My name's Steve. Great to kind of meet you. After a few failed attempts, I'm also trying to film this in 360, which is my camera here. What's been really interesting that I've spoken about in previous weeks is that the metaverse is becoming a bigger and bigger thing. I've started to invest more in VR and try and understand, how things work and how to really get a handle on that. Because at the moment, most people will experience this in 2D when you watch it through your phone or your laptop or whichever. But actually, I bought myself an Oculus Quest 2-3 weeks ago. And actually, it's really fascinating that when you experience VR in person, there's a lot of nuance to it. So I'm really trying those things out. I've moved the camera around and trying different things just to try and help that in 5-10 years' time, when it becomes a more common kind of thing to experience stuff as if you're actually in the room. There's a big learning curve, so I'm kind of doing that. And hopefully today it'll work. If it doesn't, I will let you know. But that's almost part of the journey. So what I'd like to do on these live streams is pick out 3 main concepts and topics that I think might be interesting to kind of talk about, but I also kind of share some of the story of stuff that I've done this week with my own business and stuff that I do, just in case it's interesting. And then the other thing I love it as well, if anyone, excuse me, kind of wants to get in touch, if you comment on any of the platforms, it should pop up on the screen here. I'd love to say hello, and then likewise just find out where in the world you're kind of watching from. I did decide to launch this one a little bit early today, so it's 8:34 here in the UK. This is live, this is actual, that's the time, this isn't pre-recorded. But basically I was ready, I wanted to get on with my day, and actually I thought, why not? I thought I will try it, so here we are. But yeah, please kind of get in touch. Okay, my next interview, hopefully on the podcast, will be a lady called Sophie Cross from Freelancer Magazine, who I advertise in. It's one of the very nice mugs. So we're just waiting for final kind of confirmation on that, but that'll hopefully be on Monday. Really fascinating lady who started a magazine aimed at freelancers through a Kickstarter campaign. I advertise as a double-page spread in all of their kind of magazines, but also just as a entrepreneur with a really interesting background who's kind of gone through that journey and also been through a Kickstarter. I thought it might be really interesting. And then there was no podcast last week because we had a bank holiday here in the UK. The week after next, we've got another bank holiday, so that a little bit quieter then, but just so you know, they are kind of still going on. That's kind of thing. I've got a competition out at the moment, so you should be able to see it on the screen, where basically it is to win tickets to see Ed Sheeran. He is playing Sunderland here in the northeast of England in June. And basically, if you follow Roadmap MBA on any of the kind of social channels, so you've got LinkedIn, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, basically you'll get put into a draw to basically win the tickets. And it's the kind of thing that, for us, we believe that the live experience is better than kind of pre-recorded. And what we want to do is do a whole range of kind of stuff to do with, content and concerts and stuff which is live, and really just use that as a thing to kind of promote with over the year. But no, if you tune in, please just say hello in the comments. It'd be great to kind of just have a chat and find out what you've been up to this week. We also like to celebrate successes and stuff that you've been up to as well. That often, no major experience, no business was ever built in one go. If you want to build something special, it often takes, lots and lots and lots of small things that all kind of grow and compound together. Yeah, we like to celebrate those and almost use to help build. One of my friends calls it little bricks, but it's almost build the building blocks to build your empire. And often it is done one day at a time. So for me, it's every time I do a stream, I'm that little bit further ahead. Or likewise, sending out the packs, or likewise when people can reach out as well. On that one, someone actually reached out yesterday, and we have something called a guest list. So if you go to roadmapmba.com and there's guest list at roadmapmba.com, and we offer and we send free courses to anyone in the world that thinks they could benefit from what we kind of do and what we're looking to do, especially in the first kind of year, 2 years for for launching the business. Really kind of getting the word out, getting feedback, getting Trustpilot reviews, and almost iterating is the most important thing to me. And then likewise, there's a lot of people who would not necessarily invest in business education, but what we're looking to do is almost just help those kind of people find their feet and get feedback and see what I've described well or badly or whichever. So yeah, I sent out 4 packs kind of yesterday. If you're even mildly kind of interested, please kind of get in touch and I'll happily send them out for you. And then what it hopefully does, it allows me to learn and improve. But then likewise, you get hopefully, you'll get a pack which includes the book, but basically it's 12 months worth of support, including all the classroom sessions, to help walk you through everything you need to know to grow, turn around either your business or career, and really kind of make a great success for it. And especially for anyone that's interested one day to maybe go into entrepreneurship, often most of us have a good technical skill set in our background for whatever we kind of did throughout our career. But often, yeah, learning to manage a team, write a business strategy, what is marketing, how to sell to customers, those kind of things are not easy to learn, if I'm honest. So what we try and do is give you the complete roadmap to growing your business or career and put it in one place and make it super easy and friendly and accessible, and that's kind of what we do. Okay. So what I'm going to do this week is the same thing I do every week because it kind of works, is pick some pens. And actually what I'm going to do is talk about some of the stuff that I've been up to. The 3 topics this week are why it's good to enter awards, even if you don't win. So I'm going to talk about that. It's going to be the first one. The next is actually how and why it's important to research your competition. One of the things I've been doing a lot of, and I'm going to do a segment on it, is actually just how and why it's really important and what it really helps. And I just want to kind of explain why. And then lastly, relating to all of this, is that a few conversations I've had recently where I've been talking through the course, I just want to talk about why providing business education is important to me, and then likewise, but why I want to make it accessible and ideally free is what we're looking to do as well. So if you want to join for the next kind of 30-40 minutes, please do. If you get involved in the comments, it should pop up. And the Ed Sheeran competition, don't forget to enter it as well. So on the first one, I think most people understand why is it good to enter awards. What you're essentially doing is that you hopefully, if you win especially, or even if you get shortlisted, it's almost a stamp of credibility that someone independent has assessed your business and almost deemed it to be credible, hopefully, but actually that it has merit and it's almost recognition for your kind of hard work. One of the things that I found, so I entered something called Think Global Awards. I entered back in February. The awards were on Wednesday of this week, and I was down for the education and e-learning kind of category for the roadmap. And it was really flattering to get shortlisted. I didn't win, which I won't lie. Obviously everyone wants to win, of course you do. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is actually through going through the process. Whenever you actually do an award submission, often they want you to explain what it is that you do, super simply and super quick. Because obviously, if they have to go through tons of these things, often it really helps to be able to kind of understand actually, your message. So one of the things actually I thought would be really interesting is that when you come to do an award submission, because another one that I entered And another one that I didn't get shortlisted for, which I only found out yesterday, was the Northeast Business Awards. So for me, I entered that one under the innovation category. That for me, what I'm trying to do is a completely new way to do business education, especially the business model, doing the freemium model, where basically we give it all away for free, etc. But and I got an email yesterday saying I didn't get shortlisted for that one. But why it's really useful is it helps you refine your message. So one of the most difficult things for any business to really can do is to explain to people what is it, what makes it special, how does it work. And I actually found that really useful to really kind of go through the process. And then actually from when I did this and did my submission for the Think Global Awards, when it came around to the Northeast Business Awards, which came around about a month and a half, 2 months later, of course, you tailor your questions to the questions they get asked, but I already had the bulk of the work already done, which really kind of helped. But actually, what this allows you to do is have your material ready, but it will really help with your marketing kind of message. The idea is that hopefully through doing this kind of thing, you can raise awareness to new people in new audiences. That it's so important. The more people that have general awareness on your product or service, even if they don't buy it, it's the start of your sales funnel, which we spoke about last week. That it's super, super important. But likewise, it's just a great way to get in front of people and really help promote the business. For anyone, I would recommend going in for business awards. There's another one which I'm going to go in for, which is called the Great British Entrepreneur Awards, which the deadline is the 2nd of June, I believe. It's a different kind of gig, but actually, I think it's important for any business when you're trying to build credibility and trust. If you ever can get considered for certain things, it definitely kind of helps. And this week, having both applied and been rejected from 2, I just wanted to kind of talk about it and just kind of share my honest experience, but actually why I still think it's kind of worth it. And of course, not everyone can win, but I still believe it's super valuable to do to build your network, to build trust. But likewise, when you really kind of reevaluate your business and do stuff like that, I think it really helps as well. I'd love to know if you ever catch any of this on YouTube or any of the social channels. Are there any I was going to say videos. Are there any awards or anything that you've ever entered that you didn't win, but actually you thought it was really useful? Or are there any that you did enter and did win, and actually what happened? I would genuinely kind of love to know. If you get involved in the comments, I will always kind of respond. And I'll speak to you soon. Okay. So how has everyone's week been? It's been a 4-day week here in the UK. We had a bank holiday, I guess last week, this week for Easter. So it's been a 4-day week. So actually, it was really nice for me to actually get some time off. I'm one of these people that notoriously kind of just works all the time on my own stuff or different stuff. So actually, it was really nice just to have some downtime when I knew that most other people would also, the emails stopped coming in. And I just thought it was really cool actually. And it's quite nice to get back to the swing of things and start to pick things up. But I'd love to know how your week has been as well. Okay, next. So next is something that I think is applicable to virtually every business, or less so for personal. I'm trying to think through in terms of careers perspective, but I don't think it's that. It is just from a business point of view. Researching your competition is one of the most important things that you can do. People often kind of assume they know what the competition is doing, and it's often not true. And it's just really funny that for any business, what you really want to do is help sculpt your message and understand where your USP, where do you sit in the market. So that is your unique selling proposition or unique selling point. What we're looking to do here is figure out what is it that makes you special, that makes you different in the marketplace, to really help understand what is the message that we tell to people so that they really understand what makes you different to someone else. With the roadmap, obviously business education is an extremely busy, competitive kind of place. So one of the things that I really wanted to do, and again when we were kind of making the book, for one is the physical existence of a physical product. I still have great belief that people want and value physical stuff, and they almost see a value in the time and the production and stuff that goes into this in terms of stuff that they pay for, in terms of a digital course. So if you were to go on and look at Udemy, YouTube, Coursera. There are hundreds of different online platforms. For me, there is value in actually having something physical, so I really kind of play hard on that. Cost, when you look at the market, business education is notoriously expensive. So one of the things I'm really looking to, aligned with the mission, is to make business education accessible. We are going for a freemium model, and that'll be coming out later in the year, but really kind of going hard on that. Time is a massive one. A lot of people don't have time to really kind of read a 400-page book on profit and loss accounts. They're not going to do it. So what we try and do is make everything super simple that you can learn in 2 minutes or 2 hours to really dive in as and when you want. And where I'm kind of going with this, it's really looking at actually all the different things that your competitors do or don't do to really kind of find your niche in the market. The other big one that I've really kind of discovered more recently through really deep diving on my competition is overwhelm. So when you actually look at the business education marketplace, I'm going to pick Udemy just as a prime example. They have 185,000 courses to choose from. 185. So imagine you're a target customer, you're a freelancer, business owner, whatever, and you want to help train up your team. Where the hell do you start? And then likewise, if you're a course provider, if you're not on page one of Google, are people ever actually going to even find you? But the point is, overwhelm is real in the business education marketplace. That, for one, there are hundreds of different course aggregator platforms. If you look at some of the ones which are linked with universities and stuff, there's so much to choose from and they're crazy expensive. The point is, it's really complicated to actually try and figure out what to do next. So with the roadmap, we made a special effort that we include everything in one place. So basically, we offer one course. That course has everything you need to know, nothing you don't, and almost the opportunity that if you want, you can skip past different modules or topics. But at least you know as that resource, you've got something that you can really kind of use and keep. One of the things that I've really found interesting is that most companies suffer where you have your known competitors, people that you actually know exist, but there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of people that you don't know even exist. That could be a really prime example, prime competitor for you, and especially if you're looking to raise investment, which is something I'm considering at the moment. It really helps to do a deep dive to really kind of look in and go deep and do a fresh search on different stuff. Two that I'm kind of using at the moment are so something called Dealroom.co and a different one called Crunchbase. And actually, so truth be told, I'm currently they do a free trial for a week on Dealroom.co. And what's really interesting is that you can go in and quite literally search all thousands and thousands of startups and companies and competitors and stuff that are kind of being registered around the world. That, for instance, you can look at your own particular sector. For me, for the EdTech sector, which is the education technology kind of sector, there are 43,000 companies listed. And basically, I ordered in terms of size because it makes sense to kind of do it that way. And I've been going through them like one by one to look at every single competitor. And what I'm into probably about 400 or so, and I'll probably go to 1,000 looking at competitors as deep as I can. And what's been really interesting is to find people that you didn't know existed, and I found about 5. But what's again fascinating is that you have people in the same sphere of what you do, but actually within that, there's people that actually you compete with. And then when you really look at those, it's really interesting to kind of deep dive and really figure out what it is. So actually, I found this really interesting when you're actually trying to either build your investment pitch or even just understand your company messaging. Really deep dive into who are they, what do they do, how does their service work, or do any of them actually have something really good that you could borrow or steal? There's a lot of actually Indian tech startups, and there's one called Byju. It's got an apostrophe S, which really confuses me. It's BYJU apostrophe S, which in English would be, anyway. So anyway, but they're valued at $22 billion, and they do live classroom sessions, and live classroom sessions are a really big thing now, which makes sense. That's what I kind of go on. But all of my Western people I've been looking at don't do it, and even the really credible courses, even their live stuff was pre-recorded. And the point is, it's been really useful to look at what does and doesn't work. But the other big thing, which is super useful, you often have detail on the fundraising round and stuff that they've done in terms of to grow their business. But then likewise, you also get to see the financials. So one of the reasons why the financials are super important is because on a base level, you think, well, those guys have got $1 billion in revenue and they have 500 million users, which sounds amazing. But then when you actually get to see the financials, you actually get to see that almost every single one of my competitors and the people in the space lose money. And why that's really interesting from a business strategy point of view, and I've spoken about this in the past, is when you do something called blue ocean strategy, which is how you really look at where do you sit in the market and how do you find your niche to kind of differentiate. The one big thing, which is arguably my biggest strength, is low overheads. And the more I can do that and build my model to be as aggressive on service offer and quality, but keep the overhead super low, actually the ability to, in theory, grow a business which is profitable, although that sounds stupid, is massively valuable. And actually, the more I look at competition, just having the conscious awareness to do that as a USP will give me really genuine kind of strength. So part of the reason why it's really useful to to understand and research your kind of competitors, it really helps you, develop your understanding in the market about what can make you different and how to really play hard on that particular thing to help grow your business. So it's something that I wanted to kind of talk about today. Okay, last but not least, here we go. So recently I've had quite a few conversations with different people, all really kind of cool people. And I always like to talk about the mission and why am I doing all this? Why am I putting so much time, effort, and money into trying to grow something that might never come to anything? And what's quite funny is that I do genuinely care about this. That growing up, I was raised by a single parent, so my mum raised me and two boys. She had very kind of different jobs. She was a dinner lady for a while. She was a cleaner. She went to work in the bank, but she worked really, really damn hard to help put her two boys through university. But going back to when I was kind of 17 or 18, and this was before the fees went up to 9 grand or whichever it was, there was a very real chance that we just couldn't have afforded to go. But luckily, I was able to go, and I did mechanical engineering and actually did quite well. And even after I graduated, we were hit by the 2008 oil price. Sorry, 2008 was the financial crash, but I was also hit by the 2014 oil price crash. But in 2008, I was working in construction, and the market tanked because basically we had the global financial crisis. Construction really suffered, and luckily I was able to go back and do a PhD at Sheffield University on a scholarship to really look at. It was aircraft landing gear pin joints. But the point is, I know firsthand what it's like to both worry about money, worry about paying stuff, but then likewise, I still have family and friends that are close to the kind of the poverty line where they have enough money to live off, but they can't really afford any luxuries. And certainly the cost of business education, it's just an absolute no. And then so many people I also know in terms of their career that they work damn hard, the cost of living is kind of going up, and they're looking to help, provide for their families and grow their own business or career and get things off the ground. But likewise, when you're not making any money, to spend £1,000 or £10,000 or £80,000 on a punt, which is business education, to go and do a traditional MBA, you would have to give up work for 2 years. And the point is, most regular people could not afford to do that. And actually, the whole point for business education, it's an enabler to really help people grow and develop in their life and in their careers, and really help empower communities to grow and do better and innovate. And admittedly, it's still currently skewed towards the privileged and the people that can afford, where money is no object. They have an inherent advantage to grow their business or career, which poorer people or regular people just don't have. And I hate that status quo because it unfairly punishes normal kind of people. So one of the things that we're really looking to with the roadmap is that you can get in touch today, and I'll happily send you a free course anywhere in the world. But likewise, with our mission to make business education accessible, I recently expanded that to make business education accessible to 5 billion people, because the mindset about what and how we're going to try and do that is completely different if you're looking at a UK, US audience to genuinely make something which is accessible to someone in Bangladesh or Ghana or Chad or anywhere around the world. And the mindset is different. So one of the things you're really going to see over the next kind of year or so is me hopefully build a business which is exceptionally good, has great content, but genuinely at its heart has completely free access to everything, all of the videos, all of the content, which will be online. I think it's 83 or 86% of the world have a smartphone. So actually, if we can really help make sure that people can get access to stuff anywhere in the world, as long as they have a smartphone and internet access, they can get it completely for free. And basically, the paid tiers will link into the live classroom sessions and some extra stuff, some carbon offset, and also donating free courses to people in the community around the world. It's something I'm super passionate about. But the real crux of it all comes down to that anyone from anywhere in the world, it could be the north of Scotland to Leeds to Sheffield to Liverpool to Lagos in Nigeria, if you want to work on your business or develop your skills for your career to help earn some more money or just make it a success to kind of look after your family, I don't want there to be any barriers to do that. So that's the big driver for the roadmap. My name's Steve. Well, we're on 8:57, so actually I'm going to end this before I normally start. Um, but I just wanted to be honest about that is what's going to drive me. This is why I'm doing it. I earn enough money from doing the consultancy stuff at the moment. That's what pays for everything. But longer term, I am looking to really kind of take this and grow it and really help as many kind of people as I can. I will hopefully stay in touch on the journey. If you have any questions, please never hesitate to kind of get in touch. Check out the podcast. Hopefully, it's Sophie Cross on Monday. Don't forget the Ed Sheeran competition, which is live now. If you follow Roadmap MBA on any of the channels, then you get an automatic free entry. My only ask is that you can actually make it to Sunderland for the gig, which is the important thing. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. I'm going to spend some time working on my own stuff, but actually, I've really enjoyed kind of just finding the right pace and the right cadence for what I'm trying to do. I'm going to keep going. This is my mission. This is my passion. So this is what I'm going to try and do for the next 20, 30 years and hopefully see what happens. If it succeeds, great. If it doesn't, well, at least I will kind of try my best as well. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great Friday, and hopefully I'll catch you next week. All right, cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, there you go.